The Vancouver Canucks extend Vasily Podkolzin to a 2-year deal, and this might be a lot bigger than some people are expecting. And with the playoffs just around the corner, the Canucks are lined up to play the Nashville Predators. I'm going to briefly break down how this series might turn out. I'll get into this later on this episode, but before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you watching that aren't subscribed, if you're enjoying this Canucks content and you never want to miss another episode, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long, giving you updates from all around the Canucks. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is Vasily Podkolzin extended. Now, if you've been on social media at all, Twitter, X, whatever it's called nowadays, you can see that the Canucks did agree on terms to an extension with Vasily Podkolzin. Now, the big thing with Podkolzin is, yes, a lot of people might look at this and say, hey, why are you extending a guy that's playing fourth line before you extend a guy like Tocchet Joshua? And I'm going to get to the exact reason why they did this. Now, obviously, Podkolzin, like I said, did get signed to a 2-year extension. This extension is worth $1 million per season. The big thing with this is this does not kick in until next season, so we are going to get 2 more years of Pod on this team. Podkolzin is 22 years old. He was the 10th overall pick in 2019. He has 2 points in 18 NHL games, and 28 points in 44 AHL games. The big thing with this is, like I said, he is on the final year of his deal. And this is a guy that still has a lot of untapped potential that could be quite big, honestly, for this Canucks team. Now, obviously, we've seen General Manager Patrik Allvin speak out on this extension, and he said, "We're happy with how hard Vazzy has been working on his game and trying to become a more consistent player. While there's still room for him to grow, starting the year in Abbotsford and working his way back up to the Vancouver team shows the type of commitment and dedication we want in all our players. Our group looks forward to helping Vazzy come together and improve and get better." Now, the big thing with obviously Podkolzin is the fact that, yes, he did start the year in the AHL. This is a guy that kind of took the same route as a guy like Höglander that kind of went down to the AHL and just trying to find his game. And since coming up to this Canucks team, he has been quite good. When you do look at him, yes, 2 assists in 18 games doesn't look the prettiest, but I want to briefly look back at his rookie year and sophomore year. When you do look in his rookie year, 79 games played, 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points. He was a +7, and he was playing just about 13 minutes time on ice. We see the year after, before going down to Abbotsford, 39 games played, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Everyone has their sophomore slumps. But the biggest thing to look at this season, yes, he doesn't have a goal. Yes, the total points hasn't been outstanding, but he is averaging just about 10.5 minutes time on ice, which is almost a full minute drop from last season and almost a full 2-minute drop from his rookie season. But the biggest thing to notice with Podkolzin this season is the amount of hits he is laying. If you look at just this season in 18 games, he has 67 hits. The year before, 52 and 39. And the year before that, which was his rookie year, he had 84 hits in 79 games. This guy is becoming a physical force for this team. We've seen him dominate on the ice using his body. Yes, he's getting fourth line minutes, but this is a guy that could really come in and make an impact on this Canucks middle six for the next 2 seasons. When you do look at the team, as I said, yes, Podkolzin is playing on the bottom line with Teddy Bluger and Sam Lafferty, but in the next couple of seasons, we're going to see this team slowly change more and more. This is a guy that I could see sliding in maybe on this third line if Tocchet Joshua doesn't get re-signed, which I really hope he does. But you're looking at guys like PDG. This is a guy that if he does move on to a new team in the near future, Podkolzin can slide into this line, be a physical force. Once he gets his goal touch back, this is going to be the biggest part. As I said, just 2 seasons ago, this guy had 14 goals playing in 13 minutes time on ice. This is a guy in a middle six role, especially looking at a role with maybe a guy like Elias Lindholm, JT Miller, and Pettersson as well. This is a guy that can rack goals up. We've seen how Höglander has just overdone what we expected. Höglander has been outstanding for this team, and I'm expecting Podkolzin to make a run like that as well. Now, the biggest thing to look at this, when you're looking at these contracts and just the fact that these are only the forwards, I'm not taking into account when doing this on Hronek, Zadorov, Tyler Myers, but this is just strictly looking at forwards. You have guys like Elias Lindholm, who's a free agent, Teddy Bluger, Sam Lafferty, Dakota Joshua. There is a lot of guys on this team that need to be extended. So the fact that you're bringing in a guy like Podkolzin on a 2-year deal starting next season for $1 million is going to be huge for this Canucks team, especially when you see guys like Höglander that is currently on a $1.1 million deal, which is eerily similar. He's 23, which Podkolzin will be again next season, 23 as well. So having these guys on these low cap hits for just these playoff runs is a huge part on why the Canucks' success has been so good. As I said, obviously you have guys like JT Miller, Pettersson, who's going into his extension. When you have these big contracts, you need to look at these guys that are on cheap deals, $1 million deals that can really overplay on what you're paying them. Höglander is a guy that has 20 goals this season. If you can get a 20 goal score out of Podkolzin and Höglander for a combined of $2 million, which is just roughly what you're paying Teddy Bluger, then this is exactly what the Canucks want, and this extension could be huge for the Canucks for the future. So what's your guys' thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on the the Podkolzin extension? Do you think he's going to have a season kind of like Höglander? What's your thoughts on the Canucks' current cap situation? Do you want Dakota Joshua to be the next one signed? Let me know down in the comments. But with that, let's hop into the second topic today, which is Canucks versus Predators. Now, obviously, like I said, we seen last night, today, whatever time you didn't notice it, that the round one playoffs are all set and the Vancouver Canucks will be taking on the Nashville Predators. The biggest thing with this is a lot of fans did want to face the Predators in the first round compared to the Vegas Golden Knights, the Kings, whatever it might be. But the biggest problem with this is since the All-Star break, the Nashville Predators have been one of the best teams in the NHL. 21-7-3 since the All-Star break. They've been on a heater. And just looking at these stats, yes, the Canucks are 22-9. They hold the Pacific Division title, so they do get home ice advantage in the best-of-7 series. The Nashville Predators, 47-30-5, will finish with the first wild card, so these are why they're matched up. The playoffs are set to begin Saturday. We might see action for the Vancouver Canucks and the Nashville Predators just as early as Saturday. The Canucks won all 3 games against the Predators in the regular season, and they won 3-2 in Nashville on October 24th, 5-2 in Vancouver on the 31st of October, and 5-2 at Nashville on December 19th. So as I said with this, the biggest thing to look at this, yes, we do get a team that's not as strong as someone like the Vegas Golden Knights that somehow have unlimited cap space, picking up Noah Hanifin and Thomas Hertl. But the biggest thing with this is the fact that this team is a red-hot team. They're coming in. They want to face a strong team. Regardless on who the Canucks face, yes, their records might be amazing. Like I said, 3-0 against the Nashville Predators. But the only problem with this is you're going to have to face every team before you make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. It might be Vegas in round 2. It might be LA in round 2. You're going to end up facing the Oilers at some point. This Canucks team has a hard push to make it to the finals. Going through these teams, especially like I said, Nashville being on such a hot run, is going to end up happening. So what you guys' thoughts? Are you happy we got Nashville in the first round? Were you hoping to face LA, maybe Vegas, and knock them out early? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, let me know if you want me to do a full series preview on this team versus Nashville and what to expect with the full series. But with that, let's hop into everyone's favorite topic, which is comment of the day. And the comment of today is a bit of a long one, but I really enjoyed this one. Charles said, I remember my first live Canucks game, 1974, Kansas City Scouts. First row, north goal line in an old Coliseum. Had no idea I'd still be around and loving this team. Yes, Rick should definitely win the Adams. This was talking about Rick Tocchet winning the Adams. This team oozes character. Miller, Garland, Rick T. I've always felt good when the Canucks win, but it's always been from me. This year I can honestly say that I feel good for how they might feel. Maybe I'm getting old, but I love this team and enjoy their play this year more than ever. Now, where's that Kane? Good luck with the channel. I just absolutely love this comment. It's awesome to see all this dedication from Canucks fans, especially everyone watching this, myself included. Everyone that loves this team. This is a year to be proud of, not only for the team, but just for the city of Vancouver, where they are just kind of deemed to get into this playoff race and hopefully win a Stanley Cup for the city. But with that, let's With that, that'll be it for this episode of Canucks Digest. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be here all season long, off season, into next season, whenever you want coverage on the Canucks. Make sure to check out the channel. But with that, that'll be it for this episode, and take care.